Hello everyone, today is episode 21 in the crypto series. Mainly we'll be looking at some of the updates that have been promising, like how to transfer XLM from one wallet to another wallet, and then also what are my current holdings and what are the new cryptos that I've bought. For people who've been following me on Twitter, I've been posting constant updates, but in YouTube I kind of make a monthly update. So today is like a monthly update, and I posted this Tamil version of this video about 10 days back, and unfortunately I haven't found time to make the English version. So the prices have moved on a bit, but you can still look at what prices I had updated about 10 days back and what it has meant to. So I'll update probably some of the price fluctuations in the last 10 days as well when we get to that point. So let's get into the video. So again, like always, I prepared a presentation which kind of explains what we're going to be talking about. And first thing is the disclaimer. Like I always say that I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an investment expert. My videos are not for financial advice, and these are basically my personal experiences and the process that I've learned. When I was learning this concepts, it was I was looking for videos which had a simple explanation of some of these concepts, and that's what I've been sharing over the last few months basically. So it's only for learning. So do your own research and take your own decisions. Make sure to watch my episode 1 and episode 2 in terms of the volatility in crypto investments, and make sure that you understand the risk before you invest your money, and always start small. Don't put a lot of money into it. And the agenda for today is obviously XRP. We spoke about a few episodes ago that there is an SEC issue wherein that XRP transactions have been stopped in certain cryptos, like Coinbase is not allowing you, for example, to transact in XRP in some countries, especially if in US. Many of the US exchanges have stopped it. So as an alternative, we'll be looking at what else can we use instead of XRP. We'll transfer from WazirX to Coinbase to Bitrue and show us the demo. And in Coinbase, there is a feature called proof of stake rewards, which is also giving a daily interest like Bitrue. So we'll be looking at a real demo of how to use that functionality and what are the benefits. And again, what are the cryptos that I'm currently holding? What are my new crypto buys? That's the main purpose of this video. One update that I would like to give is regarding CRO in the crypto.com native currency, or the exchange currency CRO. They're going to launch a mainnet. Why is it special? And we'll just briefly talk about it, and then we'll explain more in detail in the next video, but we'll briefly talk about why the mainnet launch is a big event. And again, finally, what is my current price target for all the cryptos that I'm holding? What's my exit plan, or what is my price that I think I will be exiting at in most of these cryptos? How long am I prepared to hold them for? That's going to be the agenda of the video. XRP alternative. So XRP has come under a legal issue with SEC. I explained it in episode 16. Where many of the US-based crypto exchanges have actually stopped or halted trading on the XRP. So even if you transfer it from one exchange to another exchange, they do allow withdraw and deposit, but you can't transfer it. The reason we used XRP was because in episode 3, in episode 4, in episode 10, we were using XRP to transfer from Indian exchanges like WazirX to Coinbase and so on, because they were easy to transfer, they were fast to transfer, they lived on a different non-ERC20 blockchain. So they were really fast to transfer, and there was a low fees in terms of the crypto. Like for example, if you're transferring USDT to transfer like $50, you will be paying like $10 of transfer fees. So to avoid that, we need to look for something that is faster to transfer and also cheaper to transfer. So that is why we were using XRP, because it was one of the it had a stable value, even though it was not a stable currency. It had a stable value and lived in its own blockchain. And it was very easy to transfer, and it was very faster to transfer. So when we were doing the demo of episode 3, for example, we were transferring it from WazirX to Coinbase, or from any crypto exchange that we'll be talking about, using XRP for that matter. So the alternative is called XLM, Stellar Lumens. You would have heard about it, you would have seen it in Coinbase. Stellar Lumens XLM was built for global payments. So it is really, really fast, and most of the time the XLM transfer will be completed in 15-20 seconds or less than a minute and max to max. And it's one of the fastest transfer cryptos basically available out there, and one of the cheapest cryptos to transfer from one blockchain to another blockchain, or one wallet to another wallet for that matter. And I hold a small portion of XLM most of the time in my portfolio because of these frequent transfers that I do from one exchange to another exchange. So currently it is sitting at, I mean, when I made the video, it was sitting at around roughly about, 50 cents, $0.5, and then it was about, in Indian rupees, it was about 37 rupees, I would say. So XLM, again, the reason why we've chosen it is because we've spoken about 5 exchanges: WazirX for India specifically, Coinbase, Bitrue, Crypto.com, and Binance. We've given a brief demo of all of these exchanges. These are the 5 exchanges that I commonly used and use most of the time. And XLM is available and tradable in all of these exchanges. You are able to withdraw and deposit in all of these exchanges. That was the main reason why I'm suggesting XLM as an alternative. XLM was roughly 5-6 months back, it was about 7 cents, and now almost 500% it has jumped to about 50 cents. That's the biggest jump. So here's a demo. So this is WazirX. Again, to buy it, you can basically buy like 2 XLM, 3 XLM also. So 90 rupees, I'm buying 2.6 XLM here, and it gets bought like this. And if I want to withdraw it, I'm trying to withdraw the 2.6 XLM that I just bought. And in Coinbase, if I go to XLM, for example, XLM again has 2 addresses. It has got an address and a memo, XLM memo, like how XRP had an address and a tag. So make sure that you use both the address and the memo. If you forget it, you'll probably end up losing your crypto. So make sure that you put your address as well as your memo. So when I try to withdraw, it is giving me the minimal withdrawal fees is about 25. So I'm going to withdraw 25 XLM here and get the authenticator app and put the authentication code. And you can see that it has sent me an email for confirmation. Once I click on the confirm, it is about 6:58 p.m. in the night. And within a few seconds, 6:58 p.m., it has got transferred into my Coinbase account. And 0.05 was the fees that it got. Now I'm going to transfer from Coinbase into WazirX. So in Coinbase though, I can transfer like even £1. I can transfer like, a very, very small amount, 3 XLM I'm transferring. Coinbase has 0 XLM fees, network fees is also 0. So even when transferred from WazirX to Coinbase, it was 0.05 XLM. Here the transfer fees is even lower, it is actually 0. So from Coinbase to WazirX, you can actually transfer the crypto for free between Coinbase and WazirX using XLM as your cryptocurrency. So again, I'm transferring it roughly around 7 o'clock in the night, and 7 o'clock in the night, immediately I get it confirmed into WazirX. Bitrue, I'll just again show you how much the fees is. Here again, the 30 XLM is the minimum withdrawal that they are showing, and the fees is slightly higher here. It's about 0.1 XLM. This is the highest that we have seen in terms of the fees for all of these 3 cryptos that we saw. So the deposit and withdrawal, you've seen that it is about literally 1 minute, and the fees is about very, very low. It's about 3 rupees in Bitrue, about 1.5 rupees in WazirX, and it's free in Coinbase. So even at the highest exchange, highest rate, it is about 3 rupees right now with regards to the fees. When you compare it with Ethereum or when you compare it with USDT, where it is like 500 rupees, 600 rupees just to transfer from one exchange to another exchange, this fees is the lowest fees. And like I said, it is supported in all the major exchanges like WazirX, Coinbase, Crypto.com, Bitrue, and Binance. That is one of the reasons why we are suggesting it. So now let's talk about the Coinbase proof of stake interest. So in episode 10, we saw how Bitrue gives you the daily interest rate, best daily interest rate for most of the cryptos. Like for example, Link, it gives you like nearly 5%, 6%, and a lot of cryptos it was giving roughly around 7% daily interest if you are able to put it into their Power Piggy scheme. So Bitrue has the widest range, is also the safest. This is why we suggested it in episode 10. So a detailed demo of it. A lot of people don't know that in Coinbase also, it has got a staking interest for a few of the cryptos, and it's a decent reward actually. And one of the reasons to hold a crypto in exchange like Coinbase or Bitrue is because in WazirX or in many of the Indian exchanges, if you keep it, there is no staking interest or there is no interest that you get out of it. It is just held as a wallet right now. So in these exchanges, in Coinbase, in Bitrue, in many of the exchanges, there is a staking interest. But obviously we need to go for the safer wallet or the safer exchange, which is why we always stick to one of the popular ones or the most popular ones. And in Coinbase, we have not spoken about the staking interest, which is what we are going to see today. So the reason why they give this interest is obviously because of proof of stake interest. So there are two concepts, proof of work and proof of stake. Technically, we'll explain about what it is. But proof of stake is basically a reward mechanism, like a mining mechanism, where by just holding the crypto, the validator nodes get a reward. So Coinbase act as a validator node using our crypto, and because they are getting that proof of stake mining reward from the blockchain, they are sharing that reward with us in terms of a staking interest. That's what happens. Technically, how that proof of stake works, how it's different from proof of work, we will explain it in a different video because it's too technical. For now, all you need to understand is that if you hold your crypto with Coinbase, they are going to give you a daily interest, or they are going to calculate a staking interest. What are the cryptos they're giving a staking interest, right? So there are 4 cryptos currently in Coinbase which are giving proof of stake interest. Algorand, which is 6%, Cosmos is Atom, which is 5%, Tezos XTC, which is 4.63%, and DAI is a stable currency, and they are giving 2% interest even on a stable currency for that matter. So we will not be looking theoretically alone. I'll show you a live example in my Coinbase account. You can actually see in my Coinbase account, all of this is listed in the reward section, and you can see DAI is 2%. Tezos, if you click on it, if you click on that question mark icon, you can see there is 4.63% annual percentage yield. So APY is annual percentage yield, but they're giving you, calculating it on a daily basis, and they'll give an appropriate prorated reward, and that is probably 7 days, or sometimes it's more. But Algorand is again 6%, and here you can see that it is actually calculating on a per second basis. It is calculating the lifetime reward based on how much Algorand you have, and that is what is fascinating. So even though it is in the 5th decimal point or the 6th decimal point, the practicality of it get calculating every second because of a 6% annual percentage yield is fascinating to watch when you are shown on screen that it's the 5th decimal or the 6th decimal is moving almost on a per second or a per minute basis. And again, Atom is about 5% interest in Coinbase. So it could vary from exchange to exchange, but here you can see that in real time you can actually see that the percentage is moving, or the reward value is moving, and it's like a timer that is actually going on. But in reality, it is not a timer. It is a dollar value or a pound value that is increasing on a minute by minute, second by second basis. Here you can take a closer look at how the values are increasing almost on a per second basis. It's just going like a timer. Like I said, even though it's in the 5th or 6th decimal point, it's just fascinating to watch the rewards perspective. So important point to note is that Algorand has also gone from about roughly 30 cents to about $1.6. It went up nearly about five times. And Algorand, again, they're promising that as a blockchain, they're promising under 4.5 seconds of transfer. There's no waiting and wondering. There's not even 10 seconds or less than a minute. 4.5 seconds is what they're offering, because they have their own mainnet and they have their own blockchain. They're not using ERC20 or any other blockchain. Now, if Algorand is so fast and is so cheap, why are we using XLM, right? Because in WazirX, for example, Algorand is listed as a rapid listing initiative, which means that you can't deposit or withdraw into some of the exchanges yet. But if we were to use Algorand to withdraw, for example, in Coinbase, you can see that where XLM was free, the network charges for Algorand is still 0.002 pence, which is 4 pence, nearly 4 rupees. But roughly, again, when we saw that XLM was literally free in Coinbase, why do we want to use that 4 rupees even for that matter, right? That's why we don't use Algorand. Now let's look at the cryptos that we've been talking about in the last 6 months in my episodes, right from episode 2 till today. And some of these have been mentioned in Twitter. Some of these have been mentioned in episode 7 and 8, especially the CRO. And again, whatever I've mentioned in Twitter, the GRT, Graph Protocol, INJ, Injective Protocol, SKL, to Scale Protocol, again, all of them, I think in one of the videos I've mentioned it, especially GRT, I've mentioned it in my episode 15 as well. Injective Protocol also, I think we mentioned it a couple of episodes ago. But most of these cryptos, Link and ZAP and everything, they've performed phenomenally well in the last 4 months or 3 to 4 months specifically, right? And from the time that we made the videos, we started making these videos in September and October. From the time that we made the videos, from the lowest price point till the highest price point in the last 4 or 5 months, especially in February, was the peak for many of these cryptos, and almost 5 or 6 out of these cryptos made nearly touched about 600%, 700%. So roughly, if you have put 10,000 rupees, you would be looking at 70,000 rupees in profit, total value. And GRT actually surprised me when we were making the episode 15. If people had watched episode 15, they'll remember that I was actually trading on GRT on a daily basis on the day that it got launched in Coinbase. And after 250 pounds, I have left about nearly 250 pounds worth of crypto in Coinbase itself because I was making the video, and I stopped trading at that point because I had to switch to the video making process on that day. So I was showing it as a demo, and I left a lot of GRT in Coinbase just because I had to do that episode 15 during that point of time. And in Feb, a few weeks after I had made that video, it kind of went up nearly 1000% in a very, very short span of time. Nearly 10 times it just shot up literally. So phenomenal cryptos. If you had invested 10,000 rupees in GRT, for example, you would have made like almost 1 lakh in a matter of 6 to 8 weeks. That kind of turnaround, that kind of volatility is only possible in crypto. Obviously, we spoke about it in episode 1 and episode 2. That comes with obviously the risk as well. But now that these cryptos are doing phenomenally well, make sure that you realize your profits, you take out your profits, and that is important. You can't be just sitting on paper profits alone and watching it grow. A lot of people who would have invested in the last 4 or 5 months after watching my videos, you would have definitely made at least 200 to 300% profit in at least one of these cryptos. If you had held on to the crypto for nearly 3 months, and you would have seen these cryptos grow, like ZAP, for example. It's gone about 600% from the time that we posted the video. It was about less than 4 rupees, 5 rupees, and now it's sitting at around 25 rupees roughly. And in fact, it has now increased even further as well. So the point is, once you've got that 200, 300%, take out some of your profits and keep your profits aside, and the rest of it, whatever happens from that point of time, right, you can hold on to it from that point onwards. But what am I doing? What is my take on these cryptos right now? We'll be taking a look at it. But before that, I want to specifically talk about CRO. So the crypto.com was one crypto that hadn't done for the last few weeks. It hadn't done that well. And in fact, when I introduced it in episode 7 and 8, I kept saying that they had reduced the interest rates and it's probably going to stay low for a while. And it did stay low for a while, but the last few days has been phenomenal for this coin, where it's again gone up by nearly 400%. The reason is they did something that was unprecedented in the crypto industry, where they did a 70 billion coin burn that they had done. So originally they had about 100 billion total supply, of which available supply was 25 billion, and 75 billion was held by crypto.com. So that was always there as a thing, and it was never truly decentralized like XRP, right, where they have an escrow account where 55 billion or more than 55 billion is held by XRP, and they release every month or every few days they release 1 billion into the market. This was always making it not truly decentralized because crypto.com was holding on to it. The advantage of CRO is obviously mainly the syndication and card staking benefits, like I've explained in 7 and 8. As a result, I wasn't expecting this to grow a lot. But crypto.com, the CRO, unlike many other cryptos, don't have their own mainnet. And they piggyback on the Ethereum blockchain ERC20 protocol, which many cryptos do. Link, ZAP, many cryptos do. We'll talk about it later. But this is all going to change with the mainnet launch and with the 70 billion CRO burn that's going to happen. And this means that the total available supply is going to come down. And we all know what available supply does to the coin. We spoke about it in episode 1 and episode 2. So we'll specifically talk about why this is important and what it's going to do to the crypto.com ecosystem and the CRO currency. And why 25th of March is a date where we need to remember, because that's the date when the crypto.com mainnet is going to launch. So we'll make a separate video for it because it's a very detailed topic. What have I done to the portfolio and what's my current portfolio looking like? So FET and StoreJ have obviously sold out by now, and whatever I didn't obviously make like 600% profit. Maybe at some point of time when I was in good profits, I had sold it out. Band I have sold out. I've almost sold out. Atom I sold it and I kind of retook a position, but it's a very, very small position. Engine Coin phenomenally has done well. By the time I posted this video, it was 0.476. Now it is sitting at more than a pound actually. So it is almost more than 100 rupees. When I posted the video back in September, it was roughly around 8 rupees, 9 rupees. Now it is almost more than 120 rupees, 130 rupees. Actually, it has done phenomenally well in the last few days. And so it's in fact it's about 1,500% roughly in the last 6 months. It's one of the highest performing coins out of my all the coins that I had suggested about. So it's done phenomenally well. But like I said a few days back, I almost sold it out because I made enough profits out of it and I was happy. But obviously with the recent profits, I've completely sold out because it has exceeded almost 1,500% for me profit wise. And like I always say that, right? I take my profits out where I'm happy with the profits that I've got. So from roughly about 8 rupees to it's crossed about 100 rupees for me in terms of my investment. So I had taken it out. Which means that it now means that my top 5 is made up of ZAP, which is my highest portfolio right now, Link, and Injective Protocol. Injective Protocol is almost inching towards my number 2 position. CRO, because of the recent jump, because I had a lot of it, it's actually crashed into my top 5. Scale Protocol, we talked about this. So Scale is basically an elastic web protocol where they are making accelerators for the other products, which is quite new in the market, where you're making accelerated components for other products to implement their versions of it. It's like a if people know, it's like a small components that you can buy, and instead of rebuilding everything, you can take some components from Scale. That's what Scale is doing. GRT is the indexing protocol that we spoke about in episode 15. It's very, very unique in terms of its positioning because there's so much data in blockchain and there's not much indexing protocols out there, and GRT is doing that, which is why it is almost in my top 6 right now. And that is another reason it's in my top 5, top 6 is because of the phenomenal near 1,000% increase that it has had. LRC is also in my top 10. LRC loop ring protocol, again, it's one of the layer 2 protocols of Ethereum, and we'll speak about it when we speak about liquidity mining and why layer 2 in Ethereum is important. I'll in fact do a demo on DeFi, and that time I'll explain about the loop ring in much more detail. What's my current strategy? So these are my top 10 cryptos right now. I've sold out of a few and I'm almost about to sell out of a few. What are the coins that I'm actually going to keep, and what's my expectation? People keep asking me this question. So ZAP, Link, Injective, CRO, Scale, and GRT, that's what I'm going to focus on. Obviously, BTR has now joined it because of the phenomenal increase that it has had in the past few days. And it's an exchange currency, so I'm just keeping it outside of this. But I'm going to potentially exit from the other cryptos that we talked about in the previous slide. And I'm going to accumulate into these top 5 or 6. In fact, I've already started accumulating into this top 5 or 6. The reason is I'm prepared to wait for another 3 or 4 years. If the market crashes, for example, I'm still prepared to wait 3 or 4 years for these cryptos to reach some of this potential, some of its peak potential. Why? Because Link was roughly around less than $1. It was around 40 cents in 2019 and $2 in the beginning of 2020. Now it has crossed $30. The reason it is important is because in 2019 it was still in its inception. It was still being adopted. It was still being creating partnerships. It was still in development, I would say. And then in 2020 is when it phenomenally launched. And today Link is an Oracle price feed for nearly 30 plus partnerships, or in fact more in fact. And in 2017, 2018, when the crypto went high and then it crashed, right? A lot of cryptos, a lot of blockchains were just experiments. Today, they are no longer experiments. They are real projects. They are no longer just cryptocurrency. They have a very strong technical team. They have a very strong company. They have a CIO, CTO. They've got a development team, fully dedicated development team that is resolving a real world challenge, like how Link is providing an Oracle price feed, right? How decentralized finance is changing the face of the industries, and NFTs, non-fungible tokens. There's so many technologies that are coming up which have phenomenally changed the landscape of blockchain and cryptocurrency. Unlike in 2017-18, where it was still, all of these were still concepts. Bitcoin was still Bitcoin as just a cryptocurrency. So today, cryptocurrency is not just a cryptocurrency. There is a strong real-world use case for it. And these currencies, these cryptos, these projects, other than Link, I would say, are still in their inception. In fact, other than ZAP, the other injective protocol, Scale, GRT, they're all forming formidable partnerships. ZAP, I think, it still is in infancy, and in another few months, I'm expecting that it could catch the mainstream attention. ZAP could then go into the next level in terms of how whatever Link did. I think ZAP can follow it for sure, but I don't know if it can reach as much as Link did. But it's definitely going to be a worthwhile oracle to invest in. So what's my investment, right? Obviously, what's my minimum expectation, maximum expectation? ZAP, $1 is my minimum expectation. Link, $50 my minimum expectation. Injective protocol, I think it will definitely go higher, but my minimum expectation is $50. This is something that I'm expecting it to happen in the next few months or at least a year. CRO, I'm expecting after the mainnet launch to go to at least $2 in the next few months or the 1 year. Scale, I said I was expecting it to go to $1. This video I made about 10 days back in Tamil, and after I made the video, within a week, actually, it hit $1. So it was phenomenal how I made this video like 10 days back, and it was sitting at nearly 20 cents, and it jumped nearly 5 times into $1 in a span of almost 4 or 5 days after I made the video. It went into $1, just proving one of my predictions, right? And you can actually go and see the Tamil version, the date I released it, the price that it was, and what point it actually jumped to $1. People who followed my Twitter all know the story as well. GRT, I'm also expecting it to go to $10. Again, my maximum expectation, which is like maybe in another 2 or 3 years, is that price. That I'm expecting Link obviously go $100. Injective protocol is going to be the phase of decentralized exchange. I think it's definitely going to be $100 because it's going to enable stock trading as well through blockchain. ZAP, I think if it is able to emulate what Link had done, I'm expecting it to go to $5. So again, these are my maximum expectations. Could be 2 years, 3 years, but I'm willing to hold it, because of all the reasons I'm giving. Again, disclaimer is that I'm not a crypto expert. I've started a lot of this learning process started only last year, but I do follow these projects quite intensely, and I keep reading every article that comes out about these cryptos. And at the moment, this is purely speculation and purely personal expectation. This is only a target. I'm not promoting any of these projects. I don't get any money out of any of these companies. I haven't done any brand endorsements or brand partnerships. If you believe in another crypto like ADA or whatever it is, keep following it, keep researching it. Make sure that you are reading all the news articles about that particular crypto or the project that you're investing in. Like, I know who the CEO or who the technical team of ZAP is, Nick Spanos and everyone that we keep working about. So keep following the team, and that's how you will know what these guys are up to, like the CRO Mainnet launch, why it's a big event, why it's a big thing. I'll explain in the next video. But once you believe in a crypto, understand that there is a team behind it. If there is a strong team behind it, they're creating value behind their crypto and the blockchain. Even if there's a crash, there is obviously going to be a recovery because there is a strong use case behind it. So it's not going to be like 2017 or 18 where there was just speculation for most of these things. But right now, this is only my personal prediction, and there is no real reason why any of these targets should be hit in terms of the price value, but apart from the technical expectations that I have on these cryptos. So hopefully, this is something that I have been wanting to share. And so hopefully this was useful. But again, some final words, right? Like I always said, I have taken out my initial investments and I've got enough profits from my initial investments that I have not spent any new money in crypto investments for nearly 5 months. All of my crypto investments are based on profits that I swap from one crypto to another. I take out my profits, like BTR, when it had a phenomenal climb, I kept tweeting how I was taking out profits when it was hitting 50 cents and 52 cents. And then it kind of dropped. So I was able to again reinvest it into BTR with the profits that I made, which means that I'm able to buy more crypto with the profits that I have made by selling the crypto at a higher price and then buying it at a lower price. So I explained this trading strategy. I explained all of this in episode 15 about how you can sell it for a profit and then reinvest it, and then again cyclically you can make profits. And a lot of people had made a lot of cyclical profits. If there is a crypto crash because of this reason, because I've taken out my profits, I'm fully prepared for it. Even if it goes to less than half its value or 70% of its value, right? I'm still prepared to hold these cryptos. And like I said in episode 15, episode 18, I don't sell at a loss and I don't buy into a fear of missing out. When the crypto has already started going 100%, 200%, I don't go and buy into that point. I buy a crypto when it is not moving and it is not increasing. That's the point I buy. That's the point I believe in it. That's the point I buy. That's the point I have always tweeted about it, not when it is already doing 100% or 200%. Every time I've talked about a crypto, it has not moved. It has been stable for a while. And that's when I buy into that crypto, because it has not recently jumped like 50% or 100%. All of my crypto investments are at that point, at that level. And you can actually go back to my YouTube videos about my Twitter comments and you can see what point we have invested, we have talked about it. So if you had started, like I said, in September, October, when I started making these videos, you'll definitely be in like 500, 600% profit. Take the profit out. Make sure that you keep some of your profits out. If you're starting now though, you're buying into a peak. So make sure you are avoiding big investments. One of the best option, those cryptos that I talked about, if you're going to invest in smaller chunks. So if it's going to come down, you can always buy more. And then when you buy more, you will average down if there is a retrace or a dip. A retrace is when it comes down after a small peak, it comes down. And cryptos generally have retraces. So if you keep buying in small chunks, you can always keep liquidity and you can reinvest it so that you can lower your average down. That's what I do when I decide to buy something. Sometimes I buy it in smaller chunks so I can lower my average. And for injective protocol, for example, I bought it at $3. It went to about $15, and then at $15 I didn't buy, but when it came down to low $11, I again bought it. Even though my average is up a bit right now, but I waited for that retrace of the dip to happen, and then I bought more. So crypto is again very, very high volatility. So please make sure that you understand the risk before you put your money into it. So hopefully this was very useful to you. Until next time, thank you. Bye.